I'm so excited to have Lotta Sebzda here today on the podcast. And Lotta, can you tell me how you're feeling today?
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me. And I'm I'm very fine here I'm in Finland having a workshop this weekend. So I just got here a few hours and enjoying the city and the warm weather and yeah, before
Nice.
the workshop is starting.
Very cool. And you live in Sweden, or you're originally from Sweden?
Yes, I am Swedish, 100% Swedish, I
Nice.
believe.
And yeah, as far as you know. And and uh, have you been to Finland before, or is this your first trip?
Actually, I went to Finland this summer with my dear friend Heidi and visited her country house. And so this is the second time in a few weeks' time. So it's very strange that I suddenly go to Finland twice,
Mm,
and I have never been here before. So,
nice.
but
And lang
it's very close to Sweden, so it's easy.
so if you're teaching a yoga workshop this weekend, what language will you teach him?
English.
Yeah,
We will be talking English. Yes.
that makes sense.
Because in Finland, yeah, but in Finland, many Finnish people know Swedish language. So, but Swedish people doesn't know Finnish because it's quite difficult language. So I
Gotcha.
don't know a word.
Gotcha. I saw this
Yeah.
documentary on Netflix recently called The Human Playground, and they chronicled like a winter sport that happens in Finland where they do reindeer racing, where they lasso a reindeer, get on skis, and they race around a track. This reindeer whips them around, and I thought, whoa, Finland is so interesting. I would love to go.
I can imagine they have it here.
Right.
We
That's
have
cool.
those silly things in Sweden too. It's like also reindeers, but up north in Sweden, you
Nice.
have it there. So it's quite similar to Sweden, actually.
Very cool. Are where
Mm.
do you teach in Sweden a full-time yoga schedule, or what does your yoga teaching look like these days?
My yoga life.
Yoga life, yeah.
Actually, I I don't teach much in Stockholm. I only do workshops. I don't have my own yoga studio. I am only working 100% as a hairdresser, actually, full time, because I
Oh,
have my own shop with my companion since many years back. So that is my first profession.
that sounds cool though, because then you can really enjoy teaching when you do it.
I love it, and I love the two different styles of work. It's
Yeah.
the and both you have to be you are with the people and you meet new people and you learn new things from people, and that is very nice.
Good point. Do you like there's a saying here in the States about like say bartenders or hairdressers or like the psychiatrist or psychologist? Do you feel like a lot of people share a lot of their secrets with you when you're doing their hair?
Definitely, I know everything.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
curious, right? I'm curious, Latar, and you're an Ashtanga yoga practitioner.
100%.
And when did you first get exposed to yoga and or Ashtanga yoga?
I I have only practiced Ashtanga yoga and I've been practicing for 25 years.
Wow.
So I started with Ashtanga and I continued with Ashtanga, never anything else.
I
So
was
that is my passion.
It's evident when I saw your birthday post that you did on Instagram recently, and
Yeah.
you were celebrating your, I believe, 57th birthday.
Yes.
And
Yes.
holy cow, Lotta, how are you doing that? Obviously you've been coming for 25 years, but please, anybody or everybody listening, you gotta go look at Lotta on Instagram. The link is in the description below. But that transition that you did from handstand into the pike was just so graceful and amazing. So I thought, oh my goodness, she's been at this for a while. Um, and can you tell me a little bit about why you love Ashtanga yoga?
Ashtanga yoga is it is about the same sequence sort of every day. You do it every day, you repeat it every day, and every day is totally different from the last day you practiced. So you don't have to think about what to practice. You just roll out the mat and you do your practice, and it feels different. It can be heavy, it can be light. You can keep it light. You can keep it keep it heavy, but
Yeah.
most of the time you don't want to do that. But it is a nice sequence to to have with you everywhere you go. You know,
Agreed.
you can do your Ashtanga yoga practice everywhere. I did it in this small room at my hotel. I promise you, I didn't have much space, but as long as I can roll out the mat and the mat is fitting the room, I can practice.
Yes, yes, that is amazing.
So
Uh,
no excuse.
yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to travel with an elliptical
Yes, and
machine. And yeah,
no, you don't have to find. Yeah, you can find a place. You can go to different places in the world, and you can Google Ashtanga yoga, Mysore style, and you find lovely places with lovely people, teachers that you didn't even know existed. And you come into the shala, and you can feel the the air, and you know it's Ashtanga yoga
yeah,
there.
good point.
So
That's a
it
great
is
point.
very nice. Yeah,
Can you speak
yeah.
about why you started with the Ashtanga yoga? Was it by accident, or was it that someone had told you and you specifically sought it out? What was the circumstances that caused you to go to an Ashtanga studio for your first yoga practice?
Actually, it was my colleague, as I have my shop with now, the salon, my hair studio. She started before me doing Ashtanga yoga in a small, strange studio. I say strange because it was a bit weird back then, and they were not 100% Ashtanga yoga teacher. They had their own way, but that I didn't know. I was happy to come there practicing, and after a while, I stopped practicing there. It was like half a year only, and I heard about the place I began at. It was Ashtanga Yoga Stockholm. It wasn't many places back then, 25 years ago. So it was easy to get to know people. It was because we were a small group of practitioners. And so, yes, I started like that. I continued with my old first teacher. She's not old, but my first teacher. Her name is Gitam Hendele, and she's still in Stockholm, but she's not teaching anymore. So, and yes, I started because I just had my second child, William, and I got very weak in my immune system because I breastfeeded a lot, and I was thinner and thinner, and nothing left. And I got some allergic symptoms and asthma, and so I was really focusing on what is good for me, what do I what do I need, and how can I build my strength back, because it wasn't good for me to go out jogging as I did before, because it wasn't healthy back then when I was very tiny.
Yeah.
So I found Ashtanga. and it worked with my allergic and with my immune system, and everything is good.
Things really turned around. How long did it take for you to start to notice positive effects?
it it's difficult to say, but I think it was just half a year after.
Yeah.
But then I had half a year, so a year, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
But yeah, but back then I didn't know that Ashtanga yoga is built to practice 6 days a week in the old tradition, and you do what you want, of course. But and I did what how was good for me, because back then I had my small kids, so I couldn't practice 6 days a week. But if somebody had told me that you have to do this 6 days a week, I should run from there. So
Yeah,
that is also that is also something that comes with time, and we have a life to live. We It takes time to adapt to the practice, and have it in your daily routine and with your family. Maybe your husband doesn't practice, maybe your children have a lot of things going on in the afternoons after school, and you don't have time. So life is life.
I agree.
And now I have plenty of time. Yeah. Now when my kids are big, I have plenty of time practicing
That's
a
amazing.
lot.
I believe it. I wonder, my children are still young, and so I often wonder what life will be like when they leave the house. How have you
And
transitioned? Was that an easy transition for you, or did you struggle at first?
it was sad. It was empty. It was like the soul disappeared from the house. It
Yeah,
was so weird. It
yeah,
was
I bet.
I was crying so
Yeah,
much.
I believe it. Just those simple
So
little things like yelling up to them, like, "Did you do your homework yet?" Or
yeah, did you brush your teeth?
yeah, like
Can
that's a
I smell it?
yeah, yeah. Let me smell your breath. Prove it. Prove
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well, I'm glad you're
I
mentioning
miss
that.
that.
I'm glad you're mentioning that. I'll make sure to
Yeah,
appreciate that this
you have
evening.
to enjoy them, and even if it feels like they never get older,
Yeah,
suddenly they are out. My parents, they always told me, enjoy when they are there, and I didn't really enjoy. I Of course I enjoyed, but I didn't stop. What do you say? I didn't
stop to smell the roses.
there and just enjoy.
Yeah,
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 yes, you know what I mean.
I do.
Now I'm struggling with my English. I don't find the words, but I didn't stop for a minute and was thinking how grateful I was. Of course, I did some now and then, but now, after when they are gone out of the house, I miss those moments to stop for a while and just listen to the noise in the house, and look at all the shoes in the hall, and you know
I hear ya. I hear ya. How old is your oldest now?
30.
30? A- Any signs of potential grandchildren, or
We have two.
you have two grandkids already? Oh, that's amazing. That's got to be fun.
Yes,
That's got to be cool.
yes. So now the noise is back in the house,
Yeah.
and the brushing teeth and washing hands. Can I smell your hands? Are they clean? Yes. So yes, it's amazing, wonderful.
Do they live
Yeah,
near you in Sweden? Do they live near you?
very, yeah, very, very close.
Wow.
They It's like 5 minutes walk. So
Perfect. Perfect.
yeah, yeah.
Did your children take to yoga the way you did, or did you take a very casual approach with them and just kind of you did your thing and let them do their thing?
Exactly. I let them do their thing, and they didn't want to do my thing. So it was easy.
Ah, what about your I don't know how old they are, but I hear sometimes like it skips a generation, like the grandkids will all of a sudden be like, "What are you doing, grandma?" You know,
Yeah.
they might be more interested than maybe our own children would be. Have you noticed that? Or?
Actually, yes. Actually, I have actually noticed that with the oldest, that he's 6 now, he is following me a little bit, but I have more hope for the little girl, 2 years old. She has her own mat at home, and she's rolling it up, and she is standing in down dog
Nice.
and with one leg up.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, so she's on it.
That's awesome. I noticed, Lotta,
Yeah.
you advertise that you practice teach Ashtanga, but also focus on handstands. While you're in Finland teaching this weekend, is it a combination of both where you'll lead a mysore and or leg class and then do workshops, or do you like do very specific like handstand only workshops as well?
No, like this weekend is a typical workshop I have. I have Mysore in the morning, and then in the afternoon I have some workshops. So tomorrow I think it was arm balances, and we are going through the asanas in Ashtanga yoga, how we can do the transitions and what to think about, and it can go anywhere, everywhere when you start doing those things. No plans, and it only happens what happens. And then on Sunday we have the sorry, no, the handstand workshop.
Nice.
So after the Mysore in the morning, so full weekend.
Yeah, I hear you. Usually by Sunday at the end of these workshops, you're like, whoa, I'm so sore. Do how do you manage inflammation and or soreness that comes with Ashtanga yoga? Like I sometimes used to wonder, like uh I remember being in Mysore and having such a hard time walking up the steps after practice because like my knees and everything, like I was so sore. My wife and I would look at each other and be like, "Are you ready? Here we go. Let's go up the stairs. Come on, we got this. We got this." Did but then I meet some Ashtanga and or yoga practitioners that they're just like, "No, I don't really get sore that much. I'm just totally fine. I don't have that." What has been your experience?
I wake up every morning with sore muscles.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's okay.
are you there? Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
here. Yeah,
With sore muscles. So I feel it. I hear you. I have the same. But it's worse when you are on a workshop. Of course, when you participate in a workshop, you work hard.
yeah,
When you do your practice at home, you do it a little less hard, and you don't get that soreness, and
yeah,
you take it more easy.
yeah. Learn how to manage it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you seem extremely young to me, and I know age is just a number. Do you have people
Sorry.
that okay, it's okay. Do you have people that say like sometimes I'll notice like we'll have a group of people in the room that are practicing Ashtanga that are, you know, in their 60s and 70s, and then the 20-year-old will come in and be like feel like they get wiped out. Like they can't believe that there's these people 30 and 40 years older than them making it look so
Yeah,
easy in the room.
yeah.
When I watched your demonstration, like I was when I saw yours, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like that's incredible. Do you feel like age, do you let age get in the way at all? Or do you think about age or do you just don't think of what is your feelings about age and the practice as it evolves and shifts?
It comes and goes, actually. I think about age. I Some days I think about age and I push it away because it's me who decides, and I believe that as long as I do this, it's just a number, age is just a number. I can do it as long as it feels good. But then some days when it hurts, or if I have to move backwards a little bit and stop doing things, I get a little scared that it is age.
Yeah.
But also I think when that happens, I think, but if this was 10 years ago, I wouldn't think about the age. I would have just accepted, and I would have continued
Mm.
as
Good point.
as normal, or with that pain. Or so I believe I try to not think about the age. I have to accept it. It's more difficult to to get back after a injury, maybe, but I never rest. I go back immediately, and I do modifications of that position. So, but I have a like a brain that works like that. I am so stubborn, and I love Ashtanga yoga so much, and I don't want to be without it. So maybe that is the way for me to just continue, you know?
Yes. Yes. Great answer. Have you done
Was
practice?
it?
This is a good answer. It's helpful. I feel like it's important personally to hear other practitioners talk about. I need to hear
Yes,
I need to hear your experience
yes,
because it's extremely
yeah,
helpful. I'm thinking about these things all the time. So
yeah.
yes.
I think I thought about it that too before, when I was maybe 40. 40 is nothing. 45 is nothing. 50 was nothing. But it comes, the older now you get. But as long as I can do that handstand you saw on Instagram, the pike press with Elsit, I can run around laughing all day long. So
Yeah.
that makes my day.
Well, Lotta, can you explain a visual of what you looked like the first time you tried it? Because I remember like sometimes people will come in for class and I'll say, have you ever practiced yoga before? And they'll say no. And then they'll come into Ashtanga and then right away they'll just cross their legs, lift up into the air and jump back floating style. And I'm like, okay, you either had to have done some gymnastics or some martial
Yes,
arts beforehand. And usually they
yes,
say, yeah, you're right. I did. I was a gymnast. Or and so
yeah.
did that pike press lift that you do, was that something that you tried it once and went, I think I found my calling. This was a piece of cake. Or was it like, how in the heck? Like what? Like where would do what? Was it difficult for you or was it a natural fit for you?
Oh, no, no, no. It was like I was struggling a lot in the beginning. I did it every day, like with everything else. I took 10 minutes every day against the wall to push myself up in a press, and then I continued from there. Half a year after that, I could leave the wall. So a lot of practice, and then suddenly, I don't remember when, but suddenly I was thinking, what can happen if I try to put my feet through my hands? I
Mm,
can get stuck and I can fall on my butt, but but uh, not more than that. So I tried it and then I came through. So
yeah.
ta-da!
Yeah.
Suddenly,
Yes.
yeah.
That's cool.
But it took me, you know, I've been practicing for many years, and then when I started to really get into the handstand practice, I have done it the last couple of 7 years now. So I started to dig deep into the handstand when I was 49. So
Yes.
everybody out there, it's never too late.
Yeah. You were 49 when you started to actively wait, can you say that again? I'm sorry. What was the thing that happened at 49?
When I was 49, I actually saw Kino McGregor do a pike press or straddle press, and I was very impressed by her. And I thought, she's a Shtangi, and she's doing that. I am a Shtangi, I can do that. But I didn't tell anyone. I was only thinking that this I will practice and I will manage to do it
Mm,
before I turn 50. So I started to do it every morning after my practice. I added a little bit of a handstand sequence and no drills, just the pure work against the wall. And then suddenly it happened.
Amazing. That's very cool. Kino is incredible. We've had a chance to
Yes,
host her here before, and she's a powerhouse
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
she is.
Yes.
She's amazing
Yeah.
and so sweet.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's cool. What other
yeah.
aspects of Ashtanga yoga have interested you in relation to either the pranayama and or maybe studying Sanskrit or all these other things that come with yoga? Have you been drawn into these other avenues, or do you focus mostly with your daily practice?
It's it's more asana practice actually for me, and but I might be very late on that bit because now I am really enjoying meditation when I have time. I don't say I do it every day, but I try to sit for a while after my practice, or I do it before I go to bed, just a small session of meditation. And pranayama is something that is uh, in the end of my practice. So I do a little sequence there, but you know, the practice takes time, and I think that would be my call when I am older.
Yeah.
And when I'm curious, take my books and I read. Now I'm into Yoga Sutra, and I am stuck on one page, and I read it every evening. So you know, I'm I'm going with what I feel like doing. You know,
Yes. I like your approach. I
was
feel
that an
like
answer?
it was a good answer. Yeah, I get the sense of
Yeah,
your approach of
yeah,
not forcing and hurrying, but just
no,
take my time here and just enjoy. And
yeah.
yeah,
And
you,
also the asanas gives you something. The asanas is just something you do, but it happens so much with your mind and with your body, and you get so calm with the practice, and you I don't feel like I have to search for something else. I'm curious, and I would like to put more work into reading, but I will let that happen when I'm ready.
yeah, that's cool. What series and or pose are you still in the mode of striving toward accelerating forward through fourth series, or are you are you
I'm stuck.
pulling
I'm
pulling
stuck.
back and enjoying half primary, or
Never, never. No, actually, no. I am happy in third half. I'm almost in the end. I should say I finished third series, but I'm not proud over some poses that I cannot do. Not proud, I should say that I cannot full, fulfill. Do you say so?
Mhm.
Fulfill asana because I am not that strong, or I cannot reach my foot behind like in Ekaraya Pad. I don't remember the names now because it's very late here in Sweden, in Finland.
It's okay.
my
I
my battery is running low. Ooh,
Do you have a phone cable?
no.
If we lose you, Lota, then we know what happened. And we're just every little bit that we get together is going to be perfect. So if if we lose you
let's
midstream,
let's keep it there.
everyone listening will know that we'll know that Lota didn't hang up on me because she was offended. She
No,
it's
I
just a
want to
battery
stay
issue.
all.
It's a battery issue.
Yes, it's a very bad thinking. I didn't bring it, and because I'm in a new place. No, back to the third series. No, but I am happy where I am in third series, and it gives me joy. And sometimes I do the poses with help from my teachers when I am at their workshop, and they help me. But because I am so old in my tradition practice I feel like I should be able to do this pose before I continue to the next one. But that is not the situation. So I'm happy where I am.
Cool.
You know.
Yes.
But I am really in love with intermediate series for the moment.
Mm.
And you?
I got up to Purna Matsyendrasana in third series and realized I'm good. That's enough.
Pranayama
Yeah.
is the best place to stop.
I got pulled into it one day by my teacher, Tim Miller, and
Oh,
and I felt like every part of me was at its absolute edge. And I, after that experience, went, "Oh, that's good. I'm good. I don't need to do anything.
yes.
I don't need to do
No,
anything."
no, no, no.
And then
Same.
I have some back issues that I don't have a disc anymore with my L5S1. So back,
Yeah.
back bending is so challenging. But this week I had to back off from second series. But this week I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do second series. But when I get to Ustrasana, Laghu Vajrasana, and Kapotasana, I'm just gonna keep my hands on my hips and just try to lift my chest up, pull my belly in, and
Mm,
not really bend. And I went
mm,
through all the poses, also legs behind my head now. Ooh, I have to be so careful. So I just did like
mm,
super modified. So I actually am having fun
mm.
approaching second series again because I love Pinchamayurasana and Karandavasana, even though I still
Yeah.
struggle like
Yeah.
crazy with Karandavasana. But just the thrill of trying to get up on the forearms and get the legs in lotus up there feels so fun. But I so I've changed mine around a lot, but I still
Yeah.
really love it. I still really love it.
Yeah.
I just have to change that thought I used to have of like trying to like, you know, catch my heels and all that stuff. Like I had to let that go. But I actually am enjoying
Yeah.
it just the same, you know. I don't think that really
Yeah.
has to shift
Yeah.
it that much. As long as my
No.
goal is just I don't want to be in pain and I don't really want to try to do something that will put me in pain just to kind of look cool, you know, in the room.
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Exactly. Oh, well, that is the journey with Ashtanga yoga, isn't it?
Yes.
I love it. I can talk about Ashtanga yoga for hours.
I
Can you?
know. Yes. Here we are.
when
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you are starting when you're starting to talk about asanas, I'm like, oh my god. And when you said Purna Matsindrasana, I was feeling like I need Purna Matsindrasana now. No,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
not now, but
Well,
it is a very good pose.
are you in Purnamatsindrasana? Are you able to balance with the lifted hip up in the air, or are you getting both hips down level and able to wrap and bind and actually sit in it without a little block or blanket under that hip?
No, I need a blanket
Yeah,
under the hip,
yeah.
but then I
Isn't it?
can grab. I can do it. Yeah,
Doesn't it
but
seem like a
I
yeah?
uh, impossible
Impossible.
without.
Yeah, thank you. That's
It is for me and for you. Yes, it's good, but it's good to have something to strive for if
yes,
it's possible.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yeah,
but about the kapotasana and your back,
yeah.
don't you feel it's better when you do the back bends? Doesn't it get better in your back?
No, because I have a spondylosis on my L5, so
Aha!
my
Oh, sorry.
L5 it has slid
Yeah.
forward, which is pushing
Mm,
right on my spinal cord. So whenever I back bend, my L4 can come down and get closer to my S1, and that just like,
mm.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've learned so
No, no,
much
no.
about
Yeah.
anatomy after, once I got an MRI, because before I was thinking,
Mm,
if I just, this must just be some cranky thing in my back and I must just be getting old
mm,
and I must just probably, I can just keep working through it. But once I could,
mm,
I'd have moments where I'd be in bed for like a week, not able to get out of bed.
mm,
So then I got an
mm.
MRI. And once I saw the pictures, I went, oh, yeah,
I see.
yeah. Now I understand. Even though my mind is willing, my body is saying, mm, sorry,
Yeah.
friend, sorry. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm actually,
Yeah.
yeah. I I think adversity is a wonderful learning tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I run to the room with the charger?
Let's do it. Yeah, carry your camera. Yeah. We'll get a, for those of you watching on YouTube, you'll
And
get
you will
a view
see.
of a Finnish
Yes,
conference room.
exactly. At the hotel.
And it's summer, so in Finland, is it like daylight all the way
Yeah.
through to like what time? Like
Yes.
you never really get a
Uh,
full dark. It
oh,
looks
it
bright
is.
out there.
Yes, it is bright still, and it is now. It is over 8 here in the evening.
It's
Okay.
it's past 8. Yeah, it looks kind of bright out there. It's actually a beautiful. It looks like a beautiful facility. Are you
It
renting?
is.
Are you renting the
I
conference
have a
room
small
for the?
hotel
Yeah.
room here,
Yeah.
and I'm reaching my charger. Yes,
Cool. Cool. Yay.
and now we are safe.
Look at
Woo!
that. Look at that. Right? Power.
Okay.
We're powered up.
Woo!
Yeah.
I was
Well, thank you,
stressed
Lotta.
there. Sorry.
I know. No, I know.
Now
It's
we can talk
it
talk
makes
asanas.
I know it
Let's
makes
go.
all right. Well, then on that note, when you come across students, like say, let's take for example, Mrityasana D, which is
Yeah,
probably, would you agree that Mrityasana D is really the precursor to Purnamutsindrasana? I just want to, maybe for someone that's
definitely.
listening that doesn't know what these pose names are and what pose it is. Mrityasana D is where you say, take your right foot, put it in half lotus, tuck it in the crease of your hip, bend your other foot up, knee up in the air, and then try to wrap the arm around the outside edge of that foot, that knee that's in the air. What have you observed over the years with your own knees and or with working with students that have like knee pain, tough
Yeah,
tough knee situation? Where are you at with coaching, like, hey, don't put your foot in half lotus, put it on the floor, versus let's put it in half lotus and lean back on the hands and then try to pull
hmm.
the other knee up and lean into it. What have you learned and observed
Yeah.
over the years?
I believe both
Yeah.
modifications are perfect because it depends on the person, and it is also good to do both because when you put the foot on the knee and lean backwards on your hand, you get a stretch in the hip, but you don't put the pressure on the knee. And when you place the foot on the floor instead of the lotus, you get the bind. So let's stay there for 5 breaths there and 5 breaths there. So sometimes I let the student do both if they feel like it, and they can tell me how it was, because it's different from person to person. But I believe that it's really good to, instead of stopping a student, which we did long time ago, it was different back then.
But
It's better they do flow through because it comes later on in the practice. It comes very good asanas for the hips, and that might help the knee muscles around the knees to stretch out, so it gives it releases the tension around the knee. And so I think it's good to keep practicing as much as you can and not force.
nice. Where is there a place in, say, primary series that you've thought, hmm, I wonder if it was reversed the other way around? For example,
Yes.
like Garbhapindasana and Kukutasana, which is legs in lotus, slide your arms
Yeah,
through the lotus and rest your chin in the heel of palms, versus Baddha Konasana with feet
yeah,
together and opening the knees. Like I know like it'd be really hard. Like if you and I were to sit down and say, all right, let's revise all this.
yeah,
Let's put it in an order that seems to make sense after all these years of practicing it. Would there be
yeah.
anything that you would suggest or think could have been flipped the other way and it could have worked just as good, if not better?
Sometimes I wonder who put those poses there, but that's why we do Marichyasana A B C D, I think. because to prepare ourselves to do all those crazy stuff there. But well, it should come like in second periods or something.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
what
that's
do you
interesting.
think?
That's an interesting idea. Well, I guess one of them that I've always thought about is Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana, half bound lotus,
Yeah,
bend,
yeah,
and Jani
yeah,
Shirshasana. Like
yeah,
it makes sense to me. I understand the Ardha Baddha with the Trianga. So you do the external rotation, foot in half
yeah.
lotus, internal
Mm.
rotation. So I love the pairing of that. But I always find like Jani Shirshasana A would be awesome to do before Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana, just in relation from like a beginner's setup, but it does make
True.
sense to me that putting Jani Shasana A, B, and C together after makes sense because if there is an A, B, and a C, let's do them as a family together instead of going Jani Shasana A, then let's do half lotus and Trianga, and then come back
Mm.
to Jani Shasana B and C. So it makes sense to me that we would keep them in the family kind of almost like just maybe for organizational purposes or but I don't know. I always kind of love to think about all this just because when I do vinyasa flow, I try to, you know, work off of these different ideas. But I have full
Yeah.
respect too if you like don't like to mix things or change things around.
No, but this is so nice to hear because I have never thought about that. I have only thought about why did Bhujapidasana, Supta Kurmasana come so early in primary series, and then the rest after that is okay, a piece of cake, sort of, for people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But I have never thought about. It's so interesting to because it makes sense. Like Ardha Baddha Padma and Triangmukha Eka is going straight on your knee. And if you do Janushisasana family before, you are more ready to put the foot into the half lotus. And
Mm.
yeah, maybe we should do a new Ashtanga primary series together.
That would be fun, Lotta. I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. Um, but I always want to maintain respect for the tradition. Like I'm not trying to say that I
Yeah.
think I'm come up with anything better or different or but
No,
I
no, no.
I
But
do think it's fun
this is
to talk about. Yeah.
yes, it's very fun. Because I have never thought about it. Now you put my way of thinking in a new way, so it's really good. Tomorrow I will look at the students and I will think, maybe we swap. Maybe we swap a few asanas here and there. No,
Right?
I was only joking, but
I hear
I
you. I
think
hear
it's
you.
very interesting perspective, and I think it's good to play with the mind, and even if we stick to the theory how it is, and our mind what we think, it's fun
Yeah.
to play with the thought, and it's also nice to explore when you, for instance, when you have done your practice and you want to try new things. It's perfect to do it after your practice, maybe before you do the finishing sequence, so you
Yeah.
have that left and
Is
play a little bit, because that was not okay 25 years ago. It
I
was like, no, 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 no.
I agree. When is that
Mm.
when you would add in your pike press research work after, or sorry, before Urdhva Dhanurasana, before the back bend, or were you waiting to do your pike press research work after headstands before final breathing?
Actually, I sticked my little sequence in after my drop backs.
Ah, yeah, that's cool.
So there you have the Vrishikasana and TikToks, but I didn't. I when I started to do the handstands, I didn't do myself my Vrishikasanas at home. I did it only in a class because we didn't do it so much here in Stockholm. I don't know why. It was not something that was every day in the, or I didn't ask for it. And maybe that was the thing. We did the dropbacks and then we did the finishing sequence. But 10 years ago, I started to do the Vrishikasana and TikToks more
Yes.
regular. And I did it myself, but I don't know how it looked like because I didn't record anything, because it was almost before, it was before social media.
Ooh,
So
that's a great point. I'd love to ask you about that because, like you said, if you started 25 years ago, this must
yeah,
be what, 1998 or somewhere around there, right? Let me think. Wait. If we're 20,
yeah,
you're
no, no,
right.
no. It is my son. It was my son is 26. He was like 2 years old or something.
Okay.
One year, 1.5.
Yep.
He will be 27. So it's yeah.
Yeah. I have
Are
to.
you there?
Oh yeah, sorry. I just started thinking. And I really want to ask you, like, isn't it amazing how different it's evolved and changed from pre-YouTube to,
Yeah,
I mean, remember like when you wanted to get a yoga book or you all of a sudden were like, whoa, what is this yoga thing? And you had to go to a
exactly.
bookstore and you walked in,
Mm.
you're like, they had one book on yoga and it might have been Bhagavad Gita or, a maybe Paramahansa Yogananda. This is at least here in the States. You could find Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And then maybe like the Bhagavad Gita by Eknath Swaran or like a classic, and that was it.
Yeah,
And then I remember
yeah,
when David Swenson's practice manual appeared on the shelves at Barnes. We have Barnes and Noble here in the States, was like a big like
yeah.
book chain. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Like I would, but there was no like typing in on a machine to find out like how do I do how do I do a transition from Mrityasana D vinyasa jump to Navasana, or but I mean,
Yeah.
what is your recollection of that whole kind of evolution?
It was good times back then.
Yeah.
but it's better now because everything is what do you call it? Everything is, you can get hold of information so easily.
Yes. Yes.
But um, I think it was good back then because we stick to the teacher, and the teacher taught you, the student, me, everything we needed to know back then. And we didn't know anything else. We didn't look at another person when we practiced. We just did our practice and we were happy with that. And it wasn't like I did the next asana without permission from my teacher. I waited. Like you said today with the Purnamasindrasana, you are happy there. When I was happy in a pose, when I suddenly was happy and I didn't want to have any more asana, I was content. I didn't want to move forward. That day, she came there and given me a new asana. So she knew when I was ready. And that I missed a little bit with all the social media, YouTube, everything. But it's not bad, but I miss it.
I think you stated that really well. That's a good, well, I mean, that's at least it's optimistic and positive because
Yeah.
we don't want to be the older crew that goes, wow, back in the old days, it was so
No.
great. And now the world's falling apart, but it's at least that what you're saying, I feel like acknowledges how
Yeah.
amazing that really was. Like that was
Yeah.
such an
Yeah.
exciting time.
We should never forget that, and we have to
Yeah,
share that because that is, but it still is
still
in
is.
every shala you have. It's the same. It's, and I love that when you see the dedicated teacher giving the student a new asana. It's like Christmas every time.
really is.
And also now I have to say something about the new times with the internet. It's amazing because it's more available to people that maybe live far away from a shala, and that is so amazing with all the new apps, and you can go to different pages and practice with David Swenson on YouTube from 90s, and that is actually what I recommend many people. If you're new to the practice and if you don't have social media, go to YouTube and search for David Swenson.
Agreed.
His, yeah,
Yeah, I love
his
the way
real
he
stuff.
I love the way he presented how about the primary series, back
Yeah,
when he made those videos.
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
I remember have you had a chance to practice with David?
No, and he was here recently, but I wasn't here when he was here. So,
Man,
or in Sweden. I'm sorry, I'm in Finland, but still, but
yes. Yeah.
here for me is Sweden.
Understood. Understood. He's so incredible. And I remember having a
Yeah,
chance to ask him because when my wife and I first went to Mysore, I went because I started practicing. I ordered David Swenson's VHS and I started practicing
yeah,
Ashtanga to the tape. And I thought, oh my God, what is this? This is absolutely amazing. And his introduction at the beginning of his video that he had was him doing this demonstration of like second and third and fourth series asana out on a
mm,
dock, like in over this
mm,
beautiful like dock
yeah.
setting. And I remember just being mind blown. And so we were in the room in Mysore and David came walking in and I was like, oh my gosh, there he is, Tamara. Look, there he is, there he is. And when I went up to him and I asked him, I said, I was like, David, oh man, I just want to let you know, like your VHS, or your tape just is why I'm here. And he goes, oh, okay, hold on. And he goes, Guruji, come here. And I was really like wanted to be a chameleon in the corner. Like I didn't want to draw attention. I was just like so nervous about being there. Like it was just such an interesting experience. And he's like, look, Patabi Joyce, the reason he's here is because I made those DVDs. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Ah,
But it was because I guess David told a little bit more of the story about like when he produced that, he
yeah,
he just did it. And there was a little bit of like backlash because at that time, I mean, the only way you
yeah,
really could learn was by going to India or going to a teacher and getting access to it. And that kind of,
yeah,
in a sense, I feel like he was like just before the YouTube slash Instagram social media idea of sharing
yeah.
information. So I'm
Mm.
kind of forever, or I feel indebted to Mr. Swenson because he's a cool dude.
That was such an amazing story you told
Mm.
now. It
Thank you,
was very
Lotta.
nice.
Thank you. Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Thank you. So I am curious. You have a huge following on Instagram. Can you tell me how that evolved? Like, is it something that you put a lot of time and energy into, or is it just kind of happened because you love the practice and you share your love for it? Can you give me a little bit of the evolution of your social media skill, your
Get
savvy?
older, get older, get grandchildren, and start Instagram.
Is that how it
That's
started?
it.
How many years have you been
Yes,
doing? How many years have you
and
been at it?
put your legs behind the head and do a handstand. That's it. No, I have had it 6 years. Yeah,
Okay.
but I had another account before that got they Instagram took it down because I added music because
Uh-huh.
I thought it was cool with the music, and
You got penalized.
yes, so back on that Instagram page, I had all the work I put in on my handstand journey on
Uh-huh.
the press. So I don't have anything left actually. I have one video when I succeed to come up from straddle and my legs are everywhere, but I came up, and that is many years ago. No, so I have done it for 7 years maybe, and I went when I started the new account, this old account, I had in my mind to keep it simple don't edit too much. Keep it yeah, simple, and don't fix the light too much. Don't put the camera in a certain place, or don't buy a camera. Use your phone. No lights, but I wish I had lights. But you know, I wanted to keep it simple, and I don't know. I think it got on the right in the right hands of bigger yogis on social media. So I think I was lucky. And
Yeah.
also because of my age and what I do, that inspires younger people. And that is what I really love. And I really want to share that
Awesome.
you
Yes.
are never too old, you know.
Oh
You
my
don't
gosh, well
have to.
you are killing it, Lotta. I mean, I'm sorry.
But
You have incredible skill. So I mean, I have to give you props. I mean, and then that is a really great story. That's extremely inspirational. And I like the fact that you're kind of saying like you just had fun with it and took out the like, I have to be really good at this and I have to show all the perfect angles and everything, and just more like, let me just
yeah,
be myself and also
yeah,
do some serious stuff, like,
yeah.
yeah, that's so cool.
Share the practice.
That's so
Share the
cool.
practice with
Yeah.
fluffy hair and you know yoga
Sweaty,
hair, and as it
sweaty,
is.
yeah, as it is.
Yeah,
Great answer. Oh
yeah.
man. Lotta, I'm so excited. Well, I guess in relation to what you were saying about the fact that this is actually really good that we have this technology, because I found you on Instagram and then you accepted my invitation and I get a chance to speak with you, and you're in Finland and I'm here in Florida, and we're miles and miles apart. And I just feel like it's such a cool thing to just get a chance to talk to other people that are willing to speak with me, that don't know me at all, and just be like, yeah, I'd love to do that. Thank you very much. So, first of all, I just
But
want
you are so lovely, so
to,
it was really nice to talk to you.
well, thank you. Thank you. We'll keep throwing compliments back at each other, but thank you. I do appreciate
Yes.
that. Is there, I want to be respectful of your time. I thank you for plugging in your camera because I did get a little bit more information out of you, which I really appreciate. In the attempt to steer in the direction of shavasana, of closing our practice here together.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or share? You've shared so much interesting information, so I feel content and I don't need more. But is there anything else that comes to mind, or something else that you'd like to close with or share with our listener to give us a little bit of motivation and inspiration to keep on pushing forward here?
Oh my God. Uh, Now my mind is blank.
Did I open a big door there?
No,
Or I closed the door
yes,
on you? I
no. Maybe
closed the
I should.
door.
No. Maybe I should say, because that is also a common question. If you don't have the motivation to practice, don't think about the amount of asanas, because it's just to roll out the mat and start in samasthiti and go from there and see what happens. Don't push yourself. Be kind to yourself. Enjoy and laugh a lot.
Yes, that's perfect. That's all I
That was
needed.
a good. That
That's
was a good shavasana,
yeah.
wasn't it?
The good shavasana. I might take a long one here after we hang up with each other. I might stay here for a while after that one.
Good. I am going into my shavasana bed here.
Yeah.
Next to me, I have the bed. So
Cool. Well,
it is evening, so I will
oh,
go.
yes, yeah, you're gonna get some sleep. Make sure you have some good rest for your students tomorrow.
Yeah,
They're so lucky.
yeah.
I can just imagine like
Thank you.
a room full of Finnish
Yeah,
practitioners.
finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
A room full of Finnish practitioners just beaming when you walk in, right? They're just like so excited. They're so excited. And I like the fact that you're like, no plan. Let me let them steer the course a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Like, let's see what questions they
yeah.
have. What do they want to know? So that's amazing. Let's all right. Well, I wish you well.
Thank
And
you.
I will be in touch with you. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time for me.
Thank you very much.
All
It
right.
was nice to be invited
All right.
from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you, Lotta.